Today I want to explain what an egregore is. It's not a monster from ancient myths nor a spirit hiding behind some mysterious door. An egregore is an energetic program. It has no body, but it has weight, power, and influence. And it is born wherever many people think and feel the same way. Picture a stadium, tens of thousands of people, each with their own voice, their own emotions, their own scream. And suddenly, it all merges into one overwhelming noise. You can no longer hear the individual voices, just a single roar. The crowd breathes as one, tension builds in the air, hands rise in sync, chants echo in unison, and at that moment, a field is born. At first it's barely noticeable, like a light fog. But the longer people feed it with songs, gestures, and rituals, the denser it becomes. Every group has its own symbols, a logo, an anthem, a greeting ritual. And that's not a coincidence. It's through these small details that the field condenses and begins to live its own life. This is how an idea turns into power. Power becomes structure, and structure becomes an egregore. And here's the key. An egregore can be anything: a football club, a clothing brand, a religion, a habit, even a family belief passed down through generations. The formula is simple: thought, emotion, action, repetition. At first, the egregore lives off of us, but over time it starts to influence even those who created it. It whispers in your mind, nudging you into familiar rituals, making you feel guilt or joy on command. And the more people feed it, the stronger this invisible player becomes. Egregores don't hide behind doors. They don't sit on your shoulder. They don't fly around your room like ghosts. And they're not standing by your bed. Their domain is the field of meaning, thought, and emotion. It's a subtle, etheric layer of reality, unseen by the eye but felt by the body. Think of Wi-Fi. You can't see the signal, but it's there. Turn on your device and the connection happens instantly. Egregores work the same way. They create invisible fields that you can feel on your skin, even when you can't explain it with words. Think for yourself. A place where people have prayed for decades feels different. A heavy office soaked in toxic culture can physically weigh on you. A community built on trust and support can lift you up. There, it's easier to breathe, easier to act. Small egregores are like local clouds. They form over families, work teams, small clubs. But larger ones cover entire cities and nations. Political movements, religions, widespread habits, cults of personality. The more attention an idea receives, the more it is fueled by emotion and ritual, the denser the egregore becomes. It's like a cloud. A small one will disperse quickly, but feed it with steam and moisture, and it turns into a storm. An egregore is something between an atmosphere and a program. You don't see it, but it influences your decisions, your moods, even your thoughts. And a connection to an egregore never starts with a bold action. It always begins with something small, a micro-signal. Here's how it works. 1. Trigger. It could be a smell, a word, a picture, a time of day, fatigue, boredom, or emptiness. Just one moment, and a familiar signal lights up in your mind. 2. Attention. Click. Your inner targeting system turns. A thought gets caught. Maybe nothing has happened yet, but your energy has already shifted. 3. Emotion. A light sense of excitement, maybe anxiety or sadness. Whatever it is, it's a surge. The field comes to life. The egregore now has fuel. Ritual. Your body moves automatically. A drag from a cigarette, a sip of alcohol, scrolling through your phone, a bite of cake to feel better, an impulsive purchase. This isn't choice, it's a program. 5. Release. Your brain rewards you with a small dopamine spike. It feels better. For a moment, things seem lighter, warmer, but it's an illusion. A loan you'll have to repay. 6. Anchoring. Now your brain links the trigger with the ritual. A loop forms: signal, craving, action, reward. Each repetition thickens the cable connecting you to the egregore. The more often the loop completes, the stronger the connection becomes. 7. Signs. The connection is active. Obsessive thoughts. If not now, then in 5 minutes. Irritation and anger if the ritual is denied. The feeling of emptiness after the reward, and the urge to repeat it. The familiar phrase, "It just ended up in my hands." A cigarette, the phone, something sweet. It's important to remember. The objects themselves are neutral. Coffee, food, social media, shopping. They're just tools. The danger isn't in them, but in automation. When you're no longer choosing consciously, the program chooses for you. That's when you're already caught in the web. I'm not asking you to believe me blindly. Everything I call an egregore has parallels in science, philosophy, and culture. This isn't something made up. It's a language that connects different frameworks into one picture. The roots of the word egregore go back to the Greek egregoroi, the watchers. In apocryphal texts, this referred to certain entities observing humanity. In the 20th century, Western esoteric traditions began using egregore to describe a collective thought form, a field born from shared belief, emotion, and intent. In social psychology, Emil Durkheim described the phenomenon of collective effervescence when a crowd suddenly turns into a single organism. Gustave Le Bon, in his Psychology of Crowds, spoke of the same idea. The individual dissolves into the mass, and a new collective personality is born. Experiments by Solomon Asch and Stanley Milgram in the 20th century showed how deeply we are influenced by external pressure and social conformity. The Jungian framework. Carl Gustav Jung introduced the concepts of archetypes and the collective unconscious, patterns and symbols that don't live inside individuals but float above all of us. They take over our personalities, appearing in dreams, symbols, and repeating roles. Neuroscience of habits. Modern brain research describes a classic loop: cue, craving, action, reward. Every automatic habit is a cable connecting you to an external field. The stronger the habit, the stronger the connection. Attention economy. Social media algorithms, ad triggers, sticky app interfaces. They're all egregore amplifiers. They know how to hold your attention, and that means how to harness your energy. So when I say egregore, I'm not talking about demons or fairy tales. It's a practical language for describing reality. A collective field plus your personal cable equals sign habit, ritual. You either control that connection, or it controls you. Egregores don't feed on mysticism, they feed on your attention. Attention is fuel. Stop feeding them and the connection weakens. There's no magic in this. Just the work of breaking habit loops and shifting your state of mind. Identify the voice. Every time an urge arises inside, ask, silently or aloud, is this my desire, or is it coming from the field? That question alone shifts you from autopilot to awareness, and just by doing that, you start to weaken the cable. 90 seconds to ride the wave. Any craving is just a chemical wave in your body, lasting no more than 90 seconds. Give yourself 90 seconds. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Feel your body calming down. In 8 out of 10 cases, the wave passes on its own if you don't feed it with action. Replace the ritual. You can keep the cue, but change the response. Instead of a cigarette, drink water. Instead of emotional eating, take a short walk. Instead of endless scrolling, do 10 squats or write in your journal. Your brain still gets a reward: movement, dopamine, lightness. But the egregore doesn't get fed. Redesign your environment. Your environment is half the battle. If your triggers are always within reach, they win. Remove them from your sight. Rearrange your furniture. Turn off notifications. Change your route. Put away the familiar dishes or change the music. Every detail either pulls you into the old or sets you free into the new. The feed versus your life. Build a habit of returning attention home. Every hour, even for 1 minute. Put down the screen. Lift your gaze. Feel your breath. That's your reality loop. That's how you come back to your life, not the feed of someone else's egregore. Create your counter egregore. Fields work both ways. You can build your own field, one that feeds you instead of draining you. Regular practice, prayer, sports, meditation, creativity, a living community, honest agreements with yourself. Where your attention goes, your power flows. Give yourself a few weeks of structured fasting from the old field, and you'll feel the cables weakening. In their place, new connections emerge to your true self. When we speak of these things, it's important to differentiate between the languages we use. Some are religious, some psychological, some esoteric. They may sound similar, but they operate on different levels. Egregore nature, not a being with will, but a field born from many shared thoughts, emotions, and actions. Goal, self-preservation. It needs attention, repetition, and energy from participants. Where it lives, in the subtle psychosocial layer, in habits, collective patterns, mass rituals. How it acts. Automatically amplifies whatever is poured into it. Fear breeds more fear. Habit becomes stronger habit. Devil, in theistic tradition, nature. A personalized force of spiritual evil with will. Goal, to separate the human from the source, to break connection with God, to lead one away from the light, where it lives, in religious metaphysics, in the framework of spiritual warfare. How it acts, temptation, deception, playing on pride, always addressing free will. You could say it like this. The devil is the image of evil as a person, and egregore is the mechanism through which temptation becomes habit and collective force. These models don't have to contradict each other. They can complement each other. Some people understand through the language of faith, others through psychology or mysticism. The essence remains. Where you give your attention, your energy flows, and that begins to shape your decisions. Egregores are not monsters lurking in the dark. They are mirrors. They reflect what we have repeatedly thought, felt, and done. Our recurring thoughts and emotions merge into a field, and that field starts calling us back to the same actions. But here's the key point. We are not batteries by nature, we are creators. An egregore only exists because we feed it. Stop feeding it, and it weakens. When you bring your attention back inward, when you stop chasing triggers and change your rituals, when you consciously create your own field, the old connections lose their power. And in that moment, something sacred returns to you, the power of choice. Each of us has the power to build our own game. You either live by someone else's program, or you write your own. If this topic resonates with you, write in the comments. Which egregore do you feel the strongest in your life? And which one do you want to unplug from first? If there's enough interest, I'll create a separate video with a step-by-step program for leaving the field, with checklists, habit trackers, and real-life practices. Because it all starts with one simple step. Remember, your energy belongs to you. Thank you for being here, for watching this video, and for supporting the channel. You are the best. I wish you awareness, inner strength, and all the best. Protect your energy, and remember, you are the creator of your reality. See you in the next video.